Hello everybody and welcome to MERMAIDS Tarot. I'm about to begin here with a reading. Now this is a January reading, so it might not resonate with everybody. It really is important that you do take whatever does resonate with you and you simply leave the rest of it aside. Now if you do have any questions you would like to contact me, maybe for a question, maybe for a reading, you can find all of my information right below into the YouTube description box. So please do not hesitate. It will be my great pleasure to assist you. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, please do take a brief moment of your time to click the subscribe button to show your support to the channel and to myself, and it is always and greatly appreciated, and I do thank you so very much. So with no further ado, let's begin this reading. These are messages of love, of healing, of protection from our beautiful friends of mermaids. So I have 3 messages here. Take what's good, leave the rest aside. Let's begin. I have adrift is your very first message. We're going to follow that up with some sanctuary, and we're going to complete with some vulnerability. So let's start it off with adrift, and this is about letting go. It's about allowing a higher force to take charge for a certain time at least. Okay, so what is it to be without direction, to be without that self-determination, without a sense of empowerment? It's always disempowering. So this message is inviting you to contemplate the many aspects of letting go. As so many of us say, and it's very, very cliche, but going with the flow. Sometimes all of our strengths, for all of our strengths and our purpose, it's just about just letting go for a time, not forever, for a time. Especially if it has been a great turmoil or for kind of feeling weak. So the adrift message here is suggesting that there is a sense of making no effort at all at this moment. That you may be safe and able to float, but it is really up to the tides, to the cycles, and to the waves, and to the wind to determine your destination. It can also suggest that there is a lack of urgency for you at this moment, that you're willing to be totally compliant and to see what happens next. And yet, this is a choice. You can always paddle. You can. You can choose to lie down, turn your face to the clouds, drink the waters and from the sky, and then just choose to come to allow the faith to decide for you. But do you really want faith to decide for you? Do you want to make the decisions yourself? Sometimes this is right and it's good, it's fine, and it is something that is humbling and can create wisdom. But the wisdom, that comes with observation and stillness and that sense of sacrificing yourself, but to a great power, a greater one than yourself. Well, there's no longer an anchor. There's no sail. There are no oars. There's no map. There's only the floating world of which you are a part of. So, it's just about refusing to attempt to change things. It's allowing yourself to surrender to the situation and to see where it's going to take you. A kind of peaceful, if you want, passivity. And in an ocean type way, allowing the cycles to make a decision on your behalf. This can indicate also that you have no desire to make a decision, only to drift and to float and to allow whatever outcome is going to be. It's as if there is no moving forward. There's no retreat. There's no moving forward. Just a moment by moment acceptance of all that is going around and it's taking place. And it's very gentle, almost imperceptible willingness to let the tide and the current take you where it's going to take you. You are adrift and you are somehow akin to Auden, hanging on to those trees of life. And will you be taken, though, to the shore, or are you going to remain at sea? That is going to be up to you. What is it that you should do? That is not even a question, though, if you're asking yourself that question. It seems that you have made the powerful choice of suspension, of rest, to not do, for nothingness, for allowing what is around you to determine, for now, with the faith of yourself. This is about being adrift. Moving on forward now to a following message. This is about sanctuary. It's about taking some time for yourself, really. It's privacy. It's inviolate personal spaces. It's respected boundaries. And it's a lot about those taboos. So this mermaid is here to remind us, to remind you that there are some times when you need to declare to the world that this is your time. It's yours. And this is your space. for you. Much time has been given to others for caring them, looking over them, watching over them, loving them, soothing them. There's so many different of thems if you want. Okay, I could continue. But now is your time for you. The message to you is that you have the right to unviolated time out, time alone, during which you can be free to look, to be, to sound, to dream, to swim as you wish. Your true freedom within a relationship happens when each person's boundaries are respected, and when each person supports the times for solitude and recognizes the freedom that comes with that trust. It has come time now for your partner to support your space, your privacy, your time alone, and your need for this time to be however you choose it to be. It is time for no one to invade or pry out of fear their exclusive right to you. And it's about being diminished or even being betrayed. It is time for you, for your relationship to step up a level into greatness where the independence of each, the part of you that belongs to you alone, is nurtured, respected, applauded, and loved, but ultimately it is left to you to determine. What are you going to ask? Are you going to ask for this? Will you take this when it's given to you also? And will you declare these boundaries to be sacred to you? This is your time, and this may be taboo, this sacred space that is just yours. You need to have this for you, okay? For everybody who loves you, they will give you this time for you, and by doing so, you're going to show that they do love the entirely and the multitudes of you, and they support and uphold your freedom to be your own self. Because this is really about feeling like you're kind of in cramped quarters. It could be shared bedrooms, it could be a little privacy. Somebody is simply not respecting you while you're at your most private moments. Your boundaries, they must be studied, redrawn, and then patrolled by you. Personal space feels either disrespected or as though it's kind of diminished. It is time for some space to be off limits to others and only available to you at certain times. Now, the respect will benefit everyone, and reverence for your personal space is going to flow through the respect for their own needs. Therefore, balance, mutual harmony, everything can be achieved with maintain, creating, and flourishing those healthy and beautiful relationships. So please take some time for yourself. Find your own sanctuary. And we're going to conclude this reading here with some vulnerability. So when we're speaking of vulnerability, we're really speaking about opening your heart, allowing yourself to be tender. This is the quandary of the modern human as we can see it. There is an enormous desire to avoid pain, to avoid anything that leads to any emotional distress. And yet, the very thing that allows such things to happen is one of your greatest powers. Your vulnerability. It's beautiful and we're drawn to it, and yet so often we feel foolish and we feel embarrassed for feeling that vulnerability. And you do your very best to hide your tenderness, but you feel as though you have been abused simply because you're open and you're willing to trust, you're able to love, you're able to be kind. But how attractive and appealing are these most lovely, qualities that you do have? We all need and we all crave that sense of belonging. It is deep, it is primal, it is at the very core of our own survival instincts. These challenges here, okay, and our hero journeys within are our keys to our inner strength and a sense of belonging to the all that is. And yet, what makes this heroic and what makes this beautiful is that we can deeply hurt as much by our communication with others as by our distance from them. At this time, you're being asked, please, to open up, to display your wounds after a time of building and trust, and share your vulnerabilities within. You're strong, you're a survivor, but you're also fragile. Deep, intimate connection can only be created by deeply understanding who you are, what you reject, what you dislike about yourself, and bringing home and nurturing back to health that which you have forced away. Now, this can require therapy, counseling, deep vulnerability. The power of this vulnerability is that you break through into freedom, into self-love, and you attract others with your open heart. It may return from time to time, and it is often a theme that is in your life, so to be very careful about that. So that being said, this does conclude your reading. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Do hope that it brought you some interesting messages. If you would like to contact me, all my information is right below into the YouTube description box. Have yourself a beautiful day. Thank you for being there. I will see you tomorrow with new messages.